The Trump administration is planning widespread layoffs among the federal workforce soon, leaving employees who don't accept its deferred resignation offer at risk of losing their jobs, two Trump administration officials told CNN. The layoffs, which are being referred to internally as sweeping reductions in force, are expected to begin soon after the Thursday deadline that the Office of Personnel Management set for workers to accept the resignation package, the officials said. The package allows them to leave voluntarily and be paid through September 30th but not have to continue working. Federal workers' unions, however, have strongly opposed the controversial offer, which was unveiled in a mass email from the OPM to federal employees on January 28. On Tuesday, the American Federation of Government Employees and several other unions filed a lawsuit in U.S. District Court in Massachusetts seeking a temporary restraining order to halt the February 6 deadline. The unions also want to require the government to articulate a policy that is lawful, rather than an arbitrary, unlawful, short-fused ultimatum which workers may not be able to enforce. More than 20,000 staffers have agreed to the deferred resignation offer, one of the administration officials said. That number is rapidly growing, according to the official, who noted that the 20,000 figure isn't current. We're expecting the largest spike to come 24 to 48 hours before the deadline, the official told CNN. The 20,000 figure represents about 1% of the roughly 2 million federal employees who received the offer. The White House has said its target is for between 5% and 10% of employees to resign. However, OPM is continuing to warn employees that those who do not opt into the program could lose their jobs and, at the very least, will be required to return full-time to the office. One of the Trump administration officials described the deferred resignation program as a generous, voluntary option for workers who could ultimately be laid off in the coming weeks as part of President Donald Trump and Elon Musk's plans to massively scale back the size of federal government. The reality is clear. A large-scale reduction, in response to the president's workforce executive orders, is already happening. The government is restructuring, and unfortunately, many employees will later realize they missed a valuable, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, the official said. Some 2.4 million people work for the federal government, not including postal workers, who are not eligible for the package. Also excluded are military personnel and those in positions related to immigration enforcement and national security, among others. Last week, after the fatal collision between a regional passenger jet and a military helicopter, the National Transportation Safety Board informed employees they were not eligible for the program as the agency scrambles to keep investigators from leaving, despite initially receiving the offer. Unions oppose the offer. Federal workers' unions quickly lashed out at the deferred resignation offer, questioning its legality and stressing that the administration might not be able to follow through on it. AFGE, the largest federal workforce union, urged members on Monday not to be tricked into resigning, warning that they may not get paid. The multiple communications from the Office of Personnel Management are riddled with inconsistencies and uncertainties, AFGE told members about the offer in an FAQ last week. It is also unclear whether OPM has the legal authority to support the program or its alleged benefits, and the eligibility criteria are vague. The union warned the offer contains no guarantees that employees whose resignations are accepted will receive the benefits that the program purports to offer. And it noted the federal government is only funded through mid-March, so the Trump administration cannot make payment promises beyond then until Congress passes a spending bill. In its lawsuit, AFGE and the other unions, who collectively represent more than 800,000 federal civil servants, argue that the offer is contrary to law and OPM offers no statutory basis for it. The complaint also contends that the information that OPM has provided workers is misleading, including the agency's assertion that workers could take other jobs after resigning, although federal ethics rules restrict what outside employment current federal workers can accept. The initial OPM email was written in a manner designed to coerce federal employees to resign, Doreen Greenwald, national president of the National Treasury Employees Union, told CNN in an interview last week. The union sent an urgent notice to its members, strongly urging them not to resign. OPM spokesperson McLaurin Pinover pushed back on the union's characterization of the offer and claimed union leaders are misguiding federal workers. Union leaders and politicians telling federal workers to reject this offer are doing them a serious disservice. This is a rare, generous opportunity, one that was thoroughly vetted and intentionally designed to support employees through restructuring, Pinover said in a statement. The initial OPM email, which bore the subject line, "Fork in the Road," had many similarities to an email that X, then called Twitter, sent to its employees days after Musk took over the company. Musk now leads Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, which has been tasked with shrinking the federal workforce as one of its mandates. The offer came as Trump seeks to reshape the federal workforce, including reducing its size, replacing career workers with political appointees, wiping away some civil service protections, ending diversity efforts and more.